79 oh, gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though of Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Ferdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down in the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Oh, into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Derek Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome everybody into some Sunday night racing action here with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Super Speedway Series as they head on over to California and the infamous Autoclub Speedway. Always under the lights and always a fantastic show here at this marvelous 2-mile race circuit that these drivers are going to have a tricky time getting on and around. So without further ado, let's get things all kicked on off and started off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge thank you to the fantastic sporters here. Tonight's 180-mile race is brought to you by Holler Boys Racing. Thank you guys for jumping on board here once again, supporting another fantastic race in this Numb Thumbs Racing League. And of course, we also say a huge big thank you and shout outs to Davidson Builders on board here this season. Thank you guys up there in that northern New Jersey area. If you're looking to remodel or do some changes to your house, be sure to check them up as they are the premier custom builders up there in that northern New Jersey area. Of course, also big thank you to DEP Graphics. Some fantastic paint schemes being had by all you got to do is just ask, and man, Mr. Daniel does a fantastic job. So big thank you to DEP Graphics. Also big thank you to Sim Gear Central as well. Of great button box with all the flips, dials, knobs, turn thingies, even levers for you, Kronk. That is what that Sim Gear Central button box does for you, and it helps support any sim that you might be doing. So big thank you to Sim Gear Central. Of course, big thank you as well to Track Bar Media. Some fantastic videos and photos of real life and sim life racing as well. Be sure to go and check them on out to get a fancy package done by them. And of course, you never forget about Martin Sports as well. Go and check them on out for whether it's be racewear or casual wear. Get it all personalized just for you over there at Martin Sports. Thank you guys for jumping on board here for the NTRL. As always, I am Alan Brown. Again, face still almost there, not quite there. So I'll save y'all from the grossness. But I'm joined by two good friends of mine, one of which up here in the broadcasting booth with me, Mr. Alan English, jumping on board here for once again another fantastic night race coming to these fellows at Autoclub.
Autoclub's one of those tracks that we can't wait to go to every season. It's a lot of fun. There's great racing that's produced by this track, and unfortunately, its days are numbered in real life, but we can still race it here on the interwebs. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun race tonight. Looking forward to it.
That indeed is down there on pit road, ready for all the beating and bumping and grinding action as we go 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide here tonight. Adam, what's the feeling on down there on pit road?
Well, the feeling is that we're in California. You know, they like to ruin everything. That's why they're getting rid of this track. Any kind of anything that's cool, they're going to either tax it or just get rid of it. Thanks, California. That's my feelings. But as far as racing here, thank God we have iRacing because we'll always have this track. 2 miles, super fast. The tire wear is key here because you're going to slip up and down the track. There's several different grooves. It's pretty racy if you want it to be, and I think these guys are going to have a good time. It's nice and cool out because it's nighttime, so that's going to help.
Yes.
Help the issue. But just like I said, California's probably taxing us right now for using their name here, so we better not say it again.
You're not wearing a mask either, so
Yeah, well that was like 2 years ago. Do they still do that out there? They probably do. One fast repair, 85% fuel. Here's the big kicker, I think. 3 total sets of tires for 180 miles. That's going to be tough. 18 instant points, you'll get a penalty. 25 instant points, you will be disqualified. So, last I checked it, it's 66 on the track, so perfect for racing.
Indeed, as we take a look at tonight's race info of beautiful night here in California as these drivers get all locked and loaded. Doesn't look like temperature's going to be too much of a deal, and there's no rain in the forecast either, so this one will be good. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and boy, oh boy, is it super important to find a groove. Man, there's so many to choose from here. You just got to find one that's best for you.
Yeah, we're going to see guys running side by side a lot here tonight. Guys running different grooves. Some guys running up close to the wall. Some guys diamonding the corners. Some guys running around the bottom. So, especially once you see guys on differing tire strategies, you're going to see guys just about running each other over out here. So, it's a great 2-mile track. It's very, very fast, but yeah, the tire difference may come into play here later on.
Yeah, I think definitely it's going to come into play. You're going to have to be less aggressive, I think, during the first half of this race. That'd be my choice, but you know, I'm not out there racing. You know how you get in the moment and they get real racy, they might burn those tires up a little quicker than they ought to, but you know, this is rules for ye, not for me. That's what Gavin Newsom says. So, welcome to Auto Club.
What?
Rules for thee and not for me?
Yeah, that's what the president of California says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't go by the rules. He makes his own rules up with his aunt.
We want to thank everybody for joining us over there in the YouTube chat already tonight, and thanks for all the thumbs up we've received already. And we hadn't even gone through our starting order or anything yet. They're still in qualifying, but KW42's out here tonight. Lofi Evans as well. Chuck Kiger says this is going to be a fun race. It's so wide, so much room for passing. Joel Moore is pulling for Josh Moore in the 18. Tower operator is here, wishing everyone a good evening. Let's see, Sean Reese is here for the 92. Of course, Stub Nation out there. Tate Cawthorn is here as well. Thank you, Tate, for everything you do for our league. And let's see, LSR Gaming X is pulling for Lone Star Racing out there. Earl Evans is pulling for you, Turner. That's
Good.
awesome.
I'm glad.
Mike Adamson is pulling for Team All Star. Earl Evans says the groove is going to change will change over the course of the race. 18 hashtag Michigan Madman. Jessica Stubblefield and Rebecca Davis here for Team Stubbs, and looks like we're getting lined up here.
Yes, sirree, that we are. So let's go ahead and do our official grid rundown and tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. Drew Blaze is off with some fire under his seat here tonight, getting that 66 machine onto pole position. The 76 machine of Patrick Mahaney getting a good starting spot here as well, starting there in second. 10 of Justin Johnson. He's going to get a good starting spot there inside that top three. In third with the 136 of Mr. Chris Brown, getting a solid starting spot there in fourth. 25 of Lucas Lyons. He's got a win already here this week, trying to add on to it. Going to jump up there into fifth. The 72 of Matt Layton, getting a good starting spot here as well, starting in sixth. In seventh will be the 8 of Dylan Bryant, having a pretty good starting spot up there with the 13 of Mr. Paul Durkee, seeing himself up there inside that top 10. The 89 of the Silent Assassin, Mike Adamson, in the 89 machine starts in ninth with the double 8s. Tate Cawthorn rounding out tonight's field, starting top 10.
98 of Connor Leach will start in 11th. 12th will be Jeremy Stanley in the 60. The 23 of Mark Collins. Mac will start 13th. 14th will be Stubbs. Tim Stumfield in the 92. 67 of Cubby. Nate Stanley starting in 15th place. 16th will be Tom Barish in the double nickel. The 51 of Chris Klein will start in 17th place. 18th will be Zeth Hawley in the 48. 19th will be the Boss Man, the number 1 of Derek Welch. And rounding out your top 20, finishing out row 10, Tom Wilson in the 21.
5 AJ Evangelista, 21st. 38 Dustin Lodson, 22nd. 329 America's driver, Albert Anderson, he'll start 23rd. 17 Justin Lawson, 24th. 15 of Vince Short, he'll be in 25th. 32 of Nick Biddy. 26 PJ Cox in the 05, he'll be 27th. The Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, 33 car, he'll be 28th. Larry Dickerson in the 69 machine, 29th. 22 of Chuck Kiger will start this thing 30th.
The 91 machine of S.E. Martin will start 31st. 32nd will be Michael Iskandar in the 99. The 31 of Scott Milner will be 33rd. The 34th position will be Skylar Herod in the 3. 7 car of Mike Corvo will start in 35th. 36 will be Michael Eden in the 27. 19 of Brandon Coleman will be 37th. 38th will be Joe David in the 6th. The 00 of Joe Bennett will be 39th. And rounding out your top 40, Tristan Cotton in the 77.
Wow. Now, number 18, Josh Moore, he'll start 41st. We do have some EOLs, so this might change here.
Yeah.
42, Kevin Winker, he starts 42nd. Christopher Jordan in the 78. 43rd, Anthony Williams, number 5. He'll start 44. Robert Edgerton, 45th. Josh Kelleher in the 73. 46th. And our very own, number 34, Alan English in 47th.
I was the dummy that joined as a driver and not a spectator today, so sorry, folks.
And my mic was on mute, so you didn't hear it. But I mean, what an angry idiot!
What an angry idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's had a long day. We've both of us. I've been at the pool just having cocktails all day. Seems like I've done that the last 3 days. So I'm on the tail end of a bender. So if I say anything that offends you
Good
tonight, I
job.
apologize. Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
Keep those comments rolling.
I hope so.
Yeah, that indeed. Thankfully, because I think you guys did just miss the mark just a little bit, but they did extend the pace laps by one, so the lights on the pace car are off now, and as the field trickles on down the back straightaway, we head on down and get ready for the first go around here of this fantastic green flag racing here.
Tracy Cotton and Club Penguin are here for Tristan in the 77. Tower Operator's pulling for the number 42 out there as well. Earl says, got $100 on English lapping everyone. I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that bet, Earl.
Maybe in beers consumed. But
Yes. I think I got you there. But
That's true.
But that's about it as the pace car comes on down into pit lane, and as they say it over there in France, "Le boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing." Green flag is out and away we go, side by side in a little bit of 3 wide already here in the mid pack as they trundle off down into turns 1 and 2. A great start up here for these leaders, staying pretty much side by side for the first 3. Now almost 3 wide here as the 8 splits the gap up the middle. Looks like the 98 of Connor Leach running into a little bit of problem. Oh, we got a big one going on already.
329. America's driver had some issues, came up, or someone came down on him. That was ugly.
Josh Kelleher is not happy on the radio. '55 of Tom Bears just got a torn up race car. The whole front end's gone. And his dog walking sideways down the backstretch.
That it is. Let's go ahead and jump on up into our chopper camera. Already getting some work done here this evening as we kind of see what happened here. Looks like it was a 3 wide. No, our quarter panels just did not meet up. Some traffic heading up high, and you can just see everybody having a rough go of it all the way down that back straightaway.
That's not the most fun way to start your race if you're one of those guys. The only positive, you do have a fast repair. And if you didn't have to tow, you'll be on the lead lap and everything will be fine, but your fast repair will be gone.
Whew, how about that for the 19 of Brandon Coleman? There was a car hidden behind another car, but thankfully they decided to play a little bit of billiards action there and cleared the way for him as he was able to squeak and squeeze on by. And we got our first caution here of the evening.
Yeah, thanks to Gulf Coast Sand for providing our replay camera tonight.
Oh, that's it, Gulf Coast Sands.
Yeah, I just saw it go by on the screen. I figured that's
What it looks
was.
like. There's
Oh,
so
it
many
is.
good sponsors. We have a lot of different sponsors.
Holly Boys Racing is our race sponsor tonight.
It
so-
is, yes.
Sure.
All Our Boys Racing is that. Caution sponsor is Davidson Builders. Let me just double check.
Oh.
I got the right one. Yes, yes,
Gotta hit the
I
button.
do. Where did I put it? Right there. I put it right there. Davidson Builders.
Oh, problem solved.
Yep. You know, it helps if I label things that aren't inconspicuous. But nonetheless, coming off of a pretty solid weekend of real life racing, we had a NASCAR competing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That was fantastic to see, and especially here. Then had Triple Crown stuff going on Saturday, and I know that's not auto racing, that's horse racing, but that's it's racing nonetheless. And of course, we got some real life NASCAR here today as well. So full weekend.
How did the stock car do on Le Mans?
Actually, very good. Really didn't run into too many issues. until about 6 hours left and the gearbox decided that it didn't want to be a gearbox anymore. And thankfully they just had another one, threw it in, and it finished things on up.
So what class did they compete in? Were they in their own like experimental class?
Yeah, there's like a weird specialty class that allows like kind of a one-time thing.
But they did well, and it was one of these Harbor Freight cars that they're.
It was a heavily modified.
Okay, good. They had to maybe put a little more brake into it, maybe some tougher, suspension and stuff. That's good. It was Jimmy Johnson was out there. I saw that. He's a heck of a driver.
Yep.
He's a little old, but I'm sure he did fine.
Oh yeah. You're kind of sort of right, Earl. It's not quite a GT class. It doesn't meet the specifications for it. That's why it had to race under the Garage 56 banner. However, it did, like you said, finish 36th overall. It was at one point up, into like 27th, 28th before they had that problem. So it was definitely flying around there pretty dang good.
LMP cars, I think, were still a little bit faster.
Oh yeah. Those are like actual like prototypes and have hybrid batteries and super downforce and ridiculous. As looks like the field's all stacked up and ready to go, so gonna be heading on back to the green flag here in just a quick second.
00 Joe Bennett, Papa Joe is out here cheering for you, saying "Let's go 00 Joe." Thank you, Papa Joe, for being out here.
Well, that indeed is. Into that Geico restart zone we go once again, and green flag is out, and away we go. Side by side, they meet on up once again. It looks like a little bit cleaner of a start on this one. Everybody pretty much getting onto that throttle pedal about the same time, but look at this. The 25 Lucas Lyons wasting no time, splitting up the gap in the middle, now switching on down low. Gonna be taking that leader of Chris Brown too wide here, breaking down this back straightaway right behind him. You got a good race going on between, looks like that's the 98 of Connor Leach, and you got the X Machine, Justin Johnson, racing in the 10 here this evening, trying to continue on racing his way on up. The 8 of Mad Max, Dylan Bryant, sitting right there, as well as right behind him. Man, look at this action we got going on. This is a angry hornet's nest all being shaken up here. Got the 72 stuck in the middle of 3 wide here between the 13 and the 60. Still going 3 wide down through turns 1 and 2. Looks like they will figure that one out. Back to 2 wide. As got a slower car down there on the apron. Looks like he's going to stay out of the way for the most part. The 005 of AJ Evangelista trying to figure out a way to get through this madness. Right behind him, you got Scott Milner, Zeth Hawley, and Paul Ferdiani having a pretty good battle there themselves.
Yeah, the GDS car 005, AJ Evangelista, and a bunch of other guys had to go back 2 wide again because the 21 was low down on the track there and kind of slow. Trying to stay out of the way. That was Tom Wilson, driver of the 21.
Whew, we almost went 4 wide there with Ferdiani up against the wall. Oh, and he's getting punted all the way down across the track. And turtled.
Tire barrier. He is upside down. He hit that tire barrier just right.
Look at Winker just slicing and dicing through traffic. Just jumped in front of Josh Moore. Wreck in the front stretch.
Oh, big wreck.
Oh.
48, Zeth Hawley right in the middle of that, beginning of that. Oh, 37 goes for a wild ride.
I think that was a 27. Michael Eden just absolutely getting pummeled out there in that M&M's machine.
It started with the 31. I don't know if the 21 got into him or he just lost it on his own. Yeah, it looked like he lost it on his own. Milner there. Ooh.
Oh, I think it might have been a little bit of a firm push there with bumpers not lined up with the 21. Let's get a overhead chopper view on this one. As soon as I can find that camera button. There we go. Here, actually, I need to adjust this one. For whatever reason, all the other cameras are all zoomed in nice, but the chopper one on this track is a little far out there. So let's go ahead and zoom on in and see what. No, he was just kind of getting loose on his own, like you said there, Turner, and coming out of the corner into that tri-oval area, and he gets bumped around, and then it's just that second wave of traffic coming on through that just caused absolute mayhem. You can watch here as the 27 machine just rumbling and bumbling down across that start finish line here, and that's going to unfortunately cause some more people to come on down, as we already had quite a few people come down, use that fast repair. Man, it's hate to think of how many people have to use one now, or if they've already used it, they're might be running out of a little bit of luck here tonight.
Yeah, that one fast repair, a lot of guys already used theirs in the first incident there, so I don't know how many repeat guys we have in that same in the second accident here, but you got one for the whole race here. 90 laps here at Autoclub. It's a long race, 180 miles here tonight.
Yeah, we keep up this pace. We'll be done by midnight Eastern.
Oh goodness! Don't you put that on me, Adam Turner.
No, they'll eventually get this thing together. They're trying to race for position because they know it's going to stretch itself out to where we're going to have single file at some point. So I think everybody's just kind of fighting for what they can. A little too aggressive early. Nobody listened to us at the beginning, so let them race.
We've seen them go flag to flag here, though, Brown. I mean, California, or Auto Club, I should say, is one of those tracks where once they do get kind of some separation and get some green flag pit stops in, these guys will turn a bunch of green flag laps.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That they did.
Nonetheless, we're still in California. There's a tax to be paid, and I guess the tax is they don't want them going too fast because, it has that carbon emission, So that might be part of the problem. Sabotage is what it might be.
Ooh. All right. Here's one. Has a good TikTok going around right now, but a guy summing up Philadelphia's luck. They lost the World Series. They lost the Super Bowl. They lost in the MLS World Cup, and they now have lost I-95. So
what happened to the I-95?
They lost the whole freeway.
Yeah, there was a bridge collapse.
Oh, no.
Overpass, yeah.
Freaky. I don't like that.
They just, do the trifecta, get them a nice train crash. They'll be just fine,
Oh, no.
No, we're done with the trains.
Well, it's still happening.
Wait till there's an election year. Well, it'll pick back up.
As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here once again, side by side, the 136 Chris Brown, 25 Lucas Lyons getting things started off here up at that front as the green flag waves, and away we go. Everybody trying to get it all turned on up to speed, heading on down into turns 1 and 2, still side by side. Go the leaders, the 8 and the 98 right behind the front two, still staying side by side. Same thing. It looks like the 66 and the 98 as well. Almost some wall contact with some extracurriculars going on just a couple of rows behind that, but the front row spreading on out and getting single file as we go 3 wide here. Chris Klein going to dive it on down up the inside of Tate Cawthorn, and the one of DW is trying to filter his way on through that chaos as well, seeing whatever holes that he can find and get that nose stuck up into. You got the 42 Kevin Winker continuing to make up positions, already up into the teens here after starting way at the back of this field, up a ton of spots. Drew Blaze, Justin Johnson having a good battle out here, as well as Lucas Lyon takes control of this race up there up at the front. You also got Albert Anderson in the 329 machine getting all fixed on up, and he's back out here in inside of this main pack. Looks like Cubby Nathan Stanley in the 67 machine kind of guiding around a secondary pack with Nick Biddy kind of stuck in no man's land. Oh, no, excuse me. I don't know who that quite is. Kind of stuck in the middle of no man's land there, kind of separating the two packs. They can use him as a bridger to catch back on up if they hurry it up just a little bit. PJ Cox in the 05 trying to find a run around the, looks like that's the 77 of Tristan Cotton back there, as they continue to race side by side down this back straightaway.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of action between the 60 and the 23. They're still racing each other there, but the 60 trying to make a pass on the outside, and the 23 moving up into his lane and not wanting to give him any room. So now the 60's running around on the inside, trying to make up some ground on a couple of the cars here in his vicinity.
Yeah, 1 through 21. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good race right now.
Oh, yeah. Big pack of cars around 10th position here. Ooh, it's getting shook up.
Ooh, yes, it is. It looks like the 3 wide has kind of calmed down just a little bit here for the time being. I'm sure it's going to heat back on it, of course, and I just say that here's Stubblefield. He's kind of getting stuck 3 wide. 42, Kevin Winker looking to shoot his way up through that middle here.
Yeah, Winker's been driving it like he stole it. He started in the back, and look at him go.
Got more 3 wide up here in front of him with a 60 in the middle again. Made a little 4 wide of his own here with DW, Stubbs, and the 88. Mercy.
Nerve-wracking at the moment.
Once we can hear inside of that 13 machine of Paul Durkee riding along. Oh, we got one up against the fence here. Looks like that's 51 to Chris Klein, just getting stuck up against that outside wall, and rather than just let it bounce off and jump down into some traffic, he did a pretty good job keeping it on up there.
Yeah, you got to make a decision there when you're bouncing off the wall and it kind of gets stuck riding the wall. It's either, ride it out, let it come off the wall, let the guys go below you there on the low line, or try to save it and pull it off the wall. And so many times when you do that, you just end up going across the whole track and taking some people out. So
yeah, that's very selfless to save the thing and hold it up against the wall like that. Smart move, and keeps him in the race as well, along with everybody else.
60 and the 23 continue to battle here as they went 3 wide for a second below the 73, and now here comes the 19. Both drivers coming up on driver X here in the Miller Lite machine of Johnson.
Driver X? Is that like the future?
No, his number is 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he has an X on it. It's the number X Miller Lite car there.
The Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Ooh, 23 machine losing out on a couple positions there. The Mac Daddy himself, Mr. Mark Collins, trying to find his way back on up through this crowd. Here comes that 42. Kevin Winker already up to 7th now, up 35 spots, making up all of that ground here rather quickly. Now, he did have some cautions that he was able to figure out a way around and not get involved in, so he's able to pick up some good spots that way, but he's still having to work really hard up here to get on up there. You got 00 Joe Bennett in the 15 of Vincent Short going a couple wide there for a quick second. 15's going to dive on down. He's trying to get around that 76 of Patrick Mahaney as well, and then chase down that 3 of Skylar Harrod. So some good racing here in the very back of the field. Meanwhile, just up ahead, almost had 4 wide there, as the 77 of Tristan Cotton has a little bit of a kershuffle going on around.
Ooh. Yeah, they're doing a little talking on the radio. Tate Cawthorn had something to say to someone. Gotta be careful out there, is I think what they were talking about.
You got some guys diving down on the low line and trying to get a run off the corner and sliding up the track, and it's
kind of dirt track.
I don't know who's going to have tires left here afford.
Yeah, they're really wearing them out. I agree with you. There's only 3 total sets. You know, you have to take that into account, guys. We'll find out.
Well, we're almost at the 1/3 mark already
True.
here on lap 20, and of course, you know, there's a lot of people that have yet to come on down into the pits for any type of service, whether it be damage or otherwise. But I mean, this track is kind of abrasive and is known to wear these things out pretty quickly.
Well, they know what they're doing. I don't. I just think 3 tires is, you know, you have to be very careful with 3 sets of tires. But
Gotta make them last 30 laps. I mean, that's no picnic here at a 2-mile track.
I've probably blown my right front out already
Yeah.
at this point in the race.
Well, yeah, on track to have pit stops at lap 30 and lap 60, possibly. At least the guys that didn't, like you said, Alan, didn't already come down.
And that's a definite viable option that we may see people elect to choose here, especially if they don't come down alone. Again, not necessarily a track known for its bump drafting, but Autoclub is definitely known as a track where you really need to kind of have somebody to help you out and around there. As the 3 and the 15 continue to have some good little tussles. Same thing with the 76 and the 17. Also got, one up against the wall. He's able to get it all corralled back together. Looks like the 00 Joe machine, I don't know if he's out of fast repairs or what, but he's using an extra hole created in his car to cool that engine down.
Yeah, Josh Campbell joining us over there on the YouTube channel saying, let's go AJ in the GDS machine. Lauren Stubblefield pulling for Tim out there. Hashtag StubNation. As well as Jennifer Ray. Thank y'all for joining us out there.
Man, what a the top 10 here, really fighting it out. I don't know what's going on in the back of the field. We have so many cars. Hard to keep up with everybody with this. This top 10 is amazing.
I know. It's Nick Biddy having some connection issues here. He was up kind of close to the front. Hopefully things stabilize out for him, but I got a feeling might see his name appear on the packets of lossage at some point.
Larry Dickerson, packet loss.
Yeah, he was having connection issues during the practice session as well, I believe. Well, we got 3 number 1 cars out here. It looks like.
Oh, perfect.
One of them's Derek Welch, and then maybe Chris Brown and maybe Corriveau is the other one, or
cool.
Well, Corriveau is the 7, so that could possibly look like a 1.
Yeah, Trading Paints is having issues. I heard them talking about it.
Blaze, Brown, and Welch are all sporting the number 1 on their car. Oh, goodness.
When you have 1,800 cars on the track, it's hard to keep track of.
Sure.
What? Yeah. I can't believe we waited this long for that.
Sorry.
Your Canadian accent. Well, speaking of Canada, did they get those fires put out? I never saw any video. I don't know if they were make-believe or what
fire?
happened. Exactly.
Were they burning trash? What are they doing?
I don't know, but it got real smoky around here.
Oh, forest fires. Yeah. I don't know, eh?
I hope everybody's okay. Let me tell you that. I do love my Canadian friends. They are always so happy, you know, delightful people.
They're very friendly. I a couple of Canadian friends. They're
they are. And funny.
Now, looks like we do have one taker here under the green flag. Michael Eden coming on down into pit road here, trying to get some stuff all fixed on
Huge
up.
crash on the front stretch.
All in the grass, though. It may.
Yeah. No yellow.
Yeah.
No yellow indeed. DW Oh man, this Super Speedway Series has not been kind to him this season. He has gotten absolutely chunked up and sent on through the shredder there. Let's go ahead and take a look back at to what kind of caused that whole thing. Let's see, 98 and Justin Johnson. Oh, a little bit of some love taps there, and unfortunately the 19 being one of those innocent bystanders kind of stuck in the middle. Thankfully, it didn't look like he had too much damage there. Really, nobody getting up into the wall too hard. However, that one machine of Derek Welsh does look to be heavily damaged up there on that front.
Yeah, wasn't much he could do.
No.
And
He also hit that speed bump in the grass there. Went for a short flight there.
And 10 of Justin Johnson definitely feeling the effects after that one. His hood has suddenly gone missing, and there's a perfectly round bump in his rear bumper that possibly someone else's front bumper could have made.
Another taker here. Stanley looks like he's coming down.
Jeremy Stanley making the dive, falling down into pit road as the 88 of Cawthorn drifts up the track right in front of the 10, trying to prevent him from making any moves here. You got the 136 of Brown and the 66 of Blaze continuing to go at it here, having a good battle. Same thing with the 8 of Dylan Bryant, and how about that 42 of Kevin Winker? We've had a total of 46 official entries here tonight, and Kevin Winker is currently plus 40 on position, so he could not get really any further in the back of that field, moving his way on up into second, now battling for that lead as they go side by side off down into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, him and Dylan Bryant have got quite a battle going up there, fighting over that number 1 position. And the 22 of Chuck Kiger with a fan out there. Stephanie Marie saying, go Kiger in the 22. Lauren Stubblefield asking, can we get a look at that number 92 at some point tonight? They want to see this Tim in that Stub Nation machine. Larry Dickerson letting us know what happened there with his packet loss. Having some internet issues out there tonight. Pretty frustrating problems to have. I've been there, buddy. It's like Mike Eden is out, and so is Nick Biddy as well here tonight.
And the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield does have the camera up and running here tonight, and he's got a helmet camera. So this is what like a cockpit style camera would look like here for like in real life attached, so you can kind of see his POV from his eyes.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. We hadn't
that.
seen that look before.
No, that's new.
Very innovative. These guys are using their brains. We're almost 4 wide here.
Yeah, they're able to figure it out. I think there was some slower traffic kind of being melded back into some of this action as Chris Klein tries to race away from the 48 of Zeth Hawley and the 10 of Justin Johnson. Lucas Lyons, so in that 25, is facing a charge here from the 23 of Mark Collins, and just in front of him, Chris Brown. Oh man, talk about this battle for the lead. We thought that the 8 and the 42 were starting to run away. Well, that's not the case anymore. Blaze, Brown, Lyons, Collins, all within a blanket's throw distance of each other. Then you got Corvo and the 88 of Cawthorn a little bit separated. Then you got Anderson followed by Stubblefield to round out that top 10. And of course you got the 48 of Hawley. You got Klein, PJ Cox, Justin Johnson. Good battle happening here between the 13 of Paul Durkee back in 22nd with 6 of Joe David having a good battle. Same thing with Scott Milner and Patrick Mahaney having a pretty good race as well. Of course, also have some people in kind of some of these mixes as well, but may not necessarily be on the lead lap. 20 of Robert Edgerton having a interesting run here tonight. He's already up quite a few spots, almost up double digits as he's making a pass on that 38 of Dustin Loxton here, trying to figure out a way to continue his push on forward up into 35th. Joshua Moore in the 18 machine, he's just been absolutely beaten up here tonight. He's just trying to figure out a way to survive the rest of this distance as these drivers head on down that back straightaway here on lap number 34.
No matter where you are in the field tonight, you're going to have some traffic around you. So you got to drive a little more careful than normal, because normally I'd be in the back and just hanging out, staying on the lead lap. But here, you're stretched out so much with so many cars, it's inevitable you're going to be around somebody. It makes for a lot of fun, at least to watch. Very nerve-wracking for the drivers.
You can see there is the 15 and the 3. We're kind of nose to tail heading on down the front straightaway. This track is not smooth whatsoever. I know sometimes with how the lights flash against these paint schemes, it's tough to see how much these cars are actually bouncing around out there. But trying to get bumpers lined up if you wanted to do some, bump drafting down the straightaways, man, that's tough.
Yeah, Skylar Hare has been trying to stay right on top of the cars right in front of him. He's been using that draft to his advantage as much as he can here tonight. But like right there, tapping the back side of the 15 just a touch there. Aero's important. Don't jack up the nose of your car here. It will cost you in the long run here.
It is important, but it's not like Talladega or Daytona. This is a different style of super speedway here. Only 2 miles. Banking's a little different. It's definitely kind of a change from your typical super speedway. But it is it's a driver's track though.
Yeah, speeds of 192. I mean, that's aero's pretty important, but you're right, it's not the only factor here for sure.
And so you can see the battle here for some positions just outside of that top 10. You got the PJ Cox in the 05 and the 51 Chris Klein kind of all lined up nose to tail. The AMCO transmissions machine for the 05 trying to chase down a good top 10 finish here tonight. Of course, electing to use that top side, but how about this for a top-down view on the 10 of Justin Johnson's machine? You can see the carburetor, the fuel cleaner, the radiator, the suspension. Man, this thing's looking closer to an Indy car than it is a NASCAR at this point.
Yeah, almost looks like a modified out there. Not as many body panels on that thing as there probably should be.
Staying cool, though.
Oh, I'm sure he's running cool. He's probably running the lowest coolant temps and oil temps as anybody out there. But Shauna Flick out there pulling for a Winker Nation, pulling for Kevin in the 42. Braden Johnson said the GoPro putting in the work today. Yeah, Jessica Stubblefield says that Tim was working on that camera set up for his helmet and stuff all day today. So he was able to get it done before race. So we're thankful for it.
Well, hope Stubbs, make sure you leave a spot you can at least stick a straw so you can get some water or something there, buddy.
Yeah.
Beer. No, or a beer. We know quite a few drivers, like a good friend of the broadcast. Go ahead.
Caution. I don't know what happened. I'm just trying to
Yellow is out,
keep you updated.
Ooh, 00 Joe Bennett, I think, getting snagged up in that one.
72 claimed it. See what happened. Matt Layden said it was his fault. So.
He was up into the wall. Yeah, 00 Joe just being sent spinning down the front straightaway. As we can watch. And looks like 00 Joe just kind of getting stuck in the middle with really nowhere to go. He was trying to go low, but there was a car down there. Let's rewind this back a little bit. Looks like the 18 Muehlberger Custom Home Machine was down there, and everybody was starting to kind of get a little loose, maybe not getting the drive off the corner, and then the 72, I mean, eventually you got to come off the wall. Tries to come off the wall as gently as he can. Unfortunately, the 00 Joe machine does get snagged up in it, and that is going to bring out that caution. And it's going to get us pretty close to halfway here, and surprise, no surprise, everybody coming on down into the pits.
Yeah, everybody's going to have to pit here, I'm sure. Patrick Swells pulling for AJ in the GDS Hot Rod. Don't crash in this race tonight, you bum. That's what he says. Nikki Short pulling for Vincent out there in the 15 machine in 15th place so far, up 10 spots.
Ooh, it looks like somebody missed their pit box by about 7 stalls there.
Uh-oh.
That had to hurt.
Oh, the 72 went around. That's Matt Layton. He's not going to find his pit spot.
Oh, and he's in the middle of pit road where there is still a collision zone there. You'll see these drivers kind of merge in and out of each other quite literally as cars once when they cross that line into their pit box. But until they do that, anything is collidable down there on pit road. So a couple guys maybe getting that countdown going on, you know, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now box. Sometimes that call scares you a little bit, and you jump on those brakes, lock up those rear tires, and around you go. Jeremy Stanley and Lucas Lyon, some of your few drivers electing to stay on out here as we catch back on up to the pace car. But Stanley last pitted back on lap 28, and Lyons, he had just recently pitted back there on 38, so he's going to be good at least for pretty much a full-on stint here as we get all lined up and are ready to rumble here once again.
Well, I think the caution came out at a good time. Most everybody had not pitted, so perfect timing for the.
Unfortunately
for
for Paul Ferdiani, he was hoping he was going to get a lap back here, and he's now going to have to let the entire field filter on by. He was just a couple car physical positions on the track away from not the lucky dog, but at least getting a wave around by staying out. He did last pit on lap 34, so that's why he's going to be stuck at least that one lap down. Layton's still down there in the pits. Heavy damage to that 72 machine. He's going to be in there for a little while, especially if he's having to manually get that damage all done.
Yeah, not just the wreck on the track causing that damage, but the wreck in the pits as well. Took a lot of body parts off of that car. Larry Dickerson out there saying, he might be done tonight, but he's still going to pull for Dylan, Albert, and Michael out there. So still sticking around to cheer on his team. Papa Joe Bennett said, "Hey, 00, what happened out there?" Race car stuff happened. It looks like super speedway stuff happened there, Adam.
Sure did.
It sure did, as here we go back to green flag racing with Lyons and Stanley going side by side here. Man, Lyons getting a great restart up there on that outside. He's got a good pusher there if he needs one with that 8 of Dylan Bryant. Having a good run here tonight. Side by side, they trickle off down into the back straightaway here. The 8's not going to wait around, though. He's going to pick up the run and look down low. It's going to be 3 wide racing up here. 2 wide for the lead. Now it's going to be 3 wide back for the lead as the 42 of Kevin Winker finds his nose down underneath him.
Yeah, Kevin Winker's down low right there, trying to make hay down on underneath the white line. That is available here at California.
Up on that outside, the 25 of Lyons getting a little bit of some draft help there from the 136 of Chris Brown. Oh, little bit of a bobble there from Brown. That's going to cause a little bit of a checkup to shuffle the way down through the field. The 42 and the 25 now battling it side by side, just 2 wide down into turns 3 and 4. Looks like the 8 of Bryant looking to maybe sneak around. He saw what Winker did. He says, if you can do it, I can do it. So he's going to send it on around. He is not going to get those positions. However, the 329, Albert Anderson, how about that? He got in a pretty big one there on the first wreck. Well, he's back up here in 6th right now, having a pretty good battle. He's going to be stuck in the middle 3 wide here as the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield up into the top 5 finds his way around on the bottom side.
Ooh, yeah, it's getting interesting up here in the top 5.
Stubblefield's having a pretty good run with a
Yes.
banged up race car. The back end of that thing, it looks like it's beat to hell, but he's still chugging along. Albert is cooking right now too in the 329.
Making use of what traffic is in front of you, and maybe sometimes they're kind of caught up in their own world of their own fight, and you can maybe find a line and sneak on through, and that's what some of these drivers are electing to do. Be a little bit more patient, but aggressively patient. I don't know. Is that a
I don't know.
Is that a thing? Aggressively patient?
Aggressively patient, yeah. Maybe.
Sounds like a Stained song or something. I don't know.
Double O Joe has
Works.
picked up a couple spots here in the last lap or so. He's on a quest to regain a bunch of spots here and did a pretty good job of it, currently sitting 15th.
And Dylan Bryant on rails too in that chrome blue car. I love the paint scheme he's always running. But he's right on the bumper Winker.
He had a good race last night, Dylan Bryant. So
Yeah, he sure did. Stubblefield's worked his way up to 4th, right behind America's driver, Albert Anderson. Look at this. Look at Stubbs go. Whoa, Albert's in the wall.
Oh, Albert's in the wall, blazed down into the inside pit wall. Oh my goodness. Anderson thankfully able to hold it and prevent from going all the way down across the track, but that is some bad luck for that 66 of Blaze, who was running really good up there, up at the front, just kind of getting snagged up in it as that 329 machine bounces off the wall, and he went all the way through the grass into where the inside pit wall was. So, and that was no light hit whatsoever, no safer barrier down there.
yeah, Derek Welch, I was watching him while that was going on, and he was sideways as well, but he was able to catch it. It may have been in response to what he saw ahead of him with that other race action that you just described.
Yeah, it looked like driving through Waco on a Saturday night, passing Papa Joe's. You got to be careful out there. Yahtzee.
You never know who's got a Derringer in their boot out there.
That's a fact.
That is a fact indeed. 23 Mark Collins looking down low here on the 136 of Chris Brown, and the 05 of PJ Cox up here kind of towards the front. Things are calming down a little bit, starting to see a little bit of field separation. The 10 of Justin Johnson getting his hood back put on and looking all good with the Miller Lite. He's kind of leading this secondary pack. He's got the 88 of Cawthorn there. You got the 00 of Joe Bennett, got his hood back on, so things are looking a little bit better for him. You got the 13 Paul Durkee kind of stuck in this group. Same thing with the 005 AJ Evangelista, having a pretty good run as well. Brandon Coleman in the 19 machine back in 21st, and I do not want to be where he's at, right in the middle of 3 wide and 3 wide for about 3 rows, and just not a lot of room to race there.
PJ Cox and Tim Stubblefield, these two Fords up here towards the front, have been battling each other, passing each other.
Oh, one's going around. Oh, that's going to be a big one.
Is that Patrick Mahaney and the Tabasco machine? Huge wreck. It's still happening. My goodness. What happened with Mahaney there? He's got some really heavy damage on that car.
And there was some, looked like maybe some possibility of some squeezage going on out there. Let's
Squeezage.
Oh man, I think the 77 might have just gotten to the back bumper of that Tabasco machine, and you know what it's like. You don't want anything to go near that back end if you're eating some of that spicy stuff. Jump on board here.
I got nothing for that one.
Oh man, yeah, they did. So the 77 and the 16 didn't actually touch, but I think what happened was he was sucking the 77 took all the air off that back end of Mahaney in that 76 and kind of sent him up the track just a little bit, and the quarter panels made contact between the 76 and the 19. 329 Albert Anderson absolutely nowhere to go as that happens right in front of him. Albert did use a fast repair earlier on. Oh goodness gracious.
Tristan Cotton catch a piece of that, or did he escape without any damage? It looked like
no. The 77 got snagged up in it as well as who came flying in up there. I gotta slow this down. Oh, is that the 21 machine? I think the 21 machine thought, the outside should be safe, sending it on around, and no, I think that might have been the 51.
Tom Wilson's the 21.
I believe it was the 51 getting all jacked up on it, but here we go, getting another caution here. Stubblefield electing to stay out as a good chunk of this field comes on down into the pits. It's going to be Stubblefield, Cox, Johnson, Durkee, and Stanley. Your top 5 as we get ready to slip on back into the green flag race. And in the second half of this race, a little bit under 40 laps now remaining. We're going to step aside here for just a quick word from our fantastic sponsors. And when we come back, green flag action coming right back on to you. And welcome back. Stubblefield, Cox, Johnson, Durkee, Bryant, Stanley, Winker, Brown, Collins, and Bennett make up your top 10 here as the lights on the pace car is off and dives on down into pit road. As here we go back at it. Green flag race in action here at Autoclub Speedway here in California. Side by side, they trundle off down and across the line, trying to slowly crank those motors back on up. Looks like the 92 with a great jump on that restart down there. He's going to be out in front of that 10 machine of Justin Johnson, getting a little bit of a push. Really not too much pressure right now for that 92 of Stubbs, but the hive of Angry Bees is buzzing and buzzing right there behind him. You can see the 8 of Dylan Bryant going from the top to the bottom, to the top to the bottom, just trying to figure out which lane is going to move around the fastest here. He leaves the line behind that 42 of Winker as we go 3 wide with the 13 of Durkee coming up alongside on that far outside lane, trying to find his way on back and get a good position here.
How about PJ Cox? What a race he's having out there tonight. Up 24 spots, currently in third, but still in contention right here with Stubblefield and Johnson, who's moved into first place.
Yeah, and Winker is up 35. You got to watch out for him. W machine, he's on his way up to the front as well. What
Brett
about this race here in California?
It's been a great one so far, and Brett Winker out there pulling for the 42. Hashtag Winker Nation.
Yeah, and speaking of California, if you're thinking of moving to Texas, no, Texas is no good. Go ahead and move to New Mexico or Tennessee. Those are your 2 options, okay? No more Texas for anybody.
Why
from
Tennessee?
California.
We've got
because I'm trying to anger
people out
this.
there. Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to do.
You know, they stole the Oilers, so I got to get back at them somehow.
There's a lot of Oiler fans out there.
Yeah, they stole the Oilers, so they might as well get all the California people.
Mercy.
New Mexico's great this time of year, too. California. Texas is full. Don't even think about it. Whoa, somebody's hitting the wall.
So
I think it was Klein.
riding here with the 3 of Skylar Herod, trying to make his way on back up through this field. He's up 22 spots. Kind of got mired in that mid-pack for a good chunk of that first half of this race, and now through pit stops and other cautions and whatnot, he's filtering his way on up and through. You got Zeth Hawley in the 48 machine. He's having a little bit of a rough go of it. He's down a couple positions right now. They're in 20th, but he's still out there running his best life, trying to do what he can. Let's go ahead and continue our kind of check down here through this field. 22 Chuck Kiger as well, joining us here with the driver cam.
Club Penguin out there telling Trister, just tap it in. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that from that movie?
Yeah, that was Happy Gilmore.
Give it a tap-a-roo.
Tappy.
Oh, it's also
3 wide.
it might be going 4 wide here. Oh, things are getting squeezed up in the back. Oh my goodness. You got a car missing 3/4 of panels. You got the 73. You got the 38. Oh, good golly.
Chuck Kiger's setup there that he's got with his light up keyboard and stuff. I got one of those keyboards. I love that thing. I can use it with the lights off.
Oh,
it's out.
Didn't see what happened either.
Oh, Dustin Logston getting snagged up in it. That is unfortunate for sure. Josh Kelleher looks like he got snagged up in it here as well. Oh, we were watching this one, Adam. They were just 4 wide, and they had separated into 3 wide with that pink machine up against that outside wall. Oh, the 38 making contact there with the 73, and they're gonna drift on down. And of course, that apron is a racing surface here on that front straightaway. So while the 73 was kind of sideways on iRacing, got triggered and threw the yellow flag.
That 38 just kind of went up into him there. It looked like.
Yeah, a little.
They're
It's a little
talking
crazy.
about it on the radio right now.
Are they? Yeah.
Trying to figure out who did.
Is anybody fighting? Because I know they don't allow fighting in this league, which is terrible
Well,
for me.
no, I mean,
You know, you get kicked out of the league if you start fighting. I think.
well, if you're out there intentionally wrecking people for revenge or whatever, they don't put up with that kind of crap here.
Well, I mean, just give him a race suspension, right? Why do you have to kick him out of the whole league?
I don't know. Nicole Scafidi on YouTube chat saying, let's go Winker. Hashtag Winker Nation with a little checker flag and race car emojis. I like the emojis.
I do too. It's really.
I'm an emoji
it's
guy.
something-
You know what my favorite emoji is, don't you?
Yeah, it's the pregnant man emoji. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one.
'Cause
I
it
don't know
looks
why.
the most
It's-
like me. I'm not, I'm obviously, you can't get
well, I mean, biologically,
that shape.
you're not a biologist, are you? You don't know.
I'm just that shape, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's beer. Okay, that's what that is. I'll get the same problem. Right, you had a couple of cars that are brown fake, like they're going into the pits. Did you see some of that action there?
I think I did. My camera wasn't changing for me there, so I don't know if I did or not.
And you
know
did have
who
a
it
couple that
was.
did pit.
Yeah, they did, but there was
I didn't
some.
see the fakers. I
I think
saw
it
the guys
was
that came
Winker.
in.
Winker might have been.
Oh,
one
was
of
he?
the
Was he one of
faker,
them?
I think.
Playing games out there, is he?
Yeah, people playing games. I like the mind games that people played out here
Yeah,
in
it's kinda
iRacing.
fun.
It's always fun.
Well, Tower Operator is here tonight. He's sponsoring two of these cars out here tonight, the 42 of Winker and also the, is it the 18 of Josh Moore?
I think it is.
I think it's
Yeah,
the
I think
18.
so.
Yeah, with the Muleberger Custom Homes on the hoods of those two cars. He's been sponsoring these guys for a long time, and he's one of those advertisers that he sponsors races and stuff in other leagues and sponsors these guys wherever they go, pretty much. So pretty cool to see sponsors that follow their drivers around and watch the races that they're in. Really cool. Thank you so much, Bruce, for all you do for these iRacing leagues and for being here and watching with us tonight.
He's always with us too, which is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he's here all the time. I love chatting it up with him. Glad he's with us. But it was Chris Brown and Kevin Winker did the old fake job coming into the pits. So I guess it worked out for
1
them
and
because
2.
they are 1 and 2. Yeah.
Robert Edgerton calling it a night. He's loaded up on the hauler and I headed to the next race here. Let's find out where that is. It's, Atlanta. They're heading
Ooh,
to
that is a fun track. The new Atlanta, I would assume.
Yeah, I think so.
Look at Chris Brown. It says he's the 136, but he's got a gigantic wide number 1 on his car.
Big fat number 1, yeah.
Isn't that weird? Put him on the list.
Yeah, we're going to be under 30 laps to go as we get ready to go back to the green flag here. About 26 once we cross that line and get ready to go back to green flag racing. It's going to be Mr. Chris Brown up there, up at the front. 42 Kevin Winker to his outside. The lone Canadian out here, Connor Leach. Haven't heard his name here tonight. Quietly sneaking his way on up through this field, able to get on up there as well. Same thing with Double O Joe Bennett, electing to stay on out and try to get that almighty track position here as the laps start to kind of close on down.
Connor Leach, wasn't he the host of that show that showed you how the rich people lived? And is that what it was? Lifestyles.
Robin Leach.
Oh, Robin Leach. Sorry.
Either way, green flag is out, and we go back to green flag racing. A great jump there by that 42 of Winker. He had that one timed down perfectly, but is it going to be enough to beat the speed on the inside? Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, and then he shifts gears, and oh, man, he just absolutely sent the 136 to Gapplebee's. Oh, my goodness.
Where did you come up with that one?
But
What the hell was that?
that one's been going around because the NASCAR over in Le Mans was like passing those, Ferraris and all those things like crazy, and it's just like they're taking them to Gapple. It's a drag racing thing.
I like it though. It's pretty. I'd throw that in the repertoire right there.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh,
look,
the 005 goes around. Oh, this is.
005.
Oh, the 8 gets involved. This one's gonna trickle down through the field. Oh goodness.
the big one.
I hear
AJ
screaming.
Evangelista and 005 right in the middle of that.
Oh,
so with
double.
the 17 Lawson.
Yeah, Stubblefield getting snagged up. The 8 of Dylan Bryant got snagged up in it as well. Whole bunch of drivers getting involved there.
That is the big one, I think, boys.
I saw Kiger was involved as well. I don't know what part.
Oh, yeah, he's missed his front clip. He's missing the whole front end off the 22.
That was ugly.
See roughly where it started up here with the 005.
17 yeah,
17's
05.
missing his deck lid. I don't know if he...
Yeah, him and 005 got into it, and that's what started the whole situation. Looks like.
Looks like there was some little bit of magnetism, and it looked like the 17. He was very comfortable running right there on that seam, but the 005, man, just getting turned around there. Quarter panels getting hit, and you can just see the whole trickle down effect. People, thankfully, due to some of the connection issues, being able to drive on through the 22. Chuck Kiger definitely get involved. Jeremy Stanley got snagged up in it. Chris Jordan went for a little bit of a ride here. I think Joe David actually made it on somewhat okay through this. Let's go ahead and see it from his perspective here as the track all of a sudden just gets blocked. Oh, he locks it down. Oh, and he gets into Stanley. That's what happened there. Also into the 89. And
It's like when you break at the start of a pool game, you know, that's just kind of what it looked like out there. A bunch of different colored objects bouncing off of each other.
And then, unfortunately for the 92, if one impact wasn't enough to blow the engine, how about 2? And it sends him for a little bit of a ride. Oof.
So, one fast repair here in this league. How many guys are not going to be able to continue after all this contact out there?
I don't know, because we've seen several drivers use it. At least one. I think we had I think Winker used his fast repair on the first. I think we had a caution lap too. So there's definitely some drivers that have used it up. I guess we'll find out when we start seeing who's at the bottom of the list here, the 48,000 drivers we have.
I don't even know if there's 48,000 drivers on iRacing.
Oh, there was during COVID.
Oh, well,
There was.
there
was
was.
during COVID.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's still holding up. I mean, iRacing, if you're just watching, this is a great platform. Get to race, you don't get to break anything unless you punch
Yeah,
the
you
screen
don't have
or
to.
anything.
Can't die. While
Yeah,
you're
you're not going to hurt yourself. You know, if somebody's yelling at you, you can just turn it off and go deal with what you got to deal with.
You know, you got guys like Tristan Cotton out there who's got family watching, like Tracy Cotton saying, "Nice job getting around there, Trister." And yeah, we love that all the families get involved and
Yeah, we
significant
got
others as well. And
quite a few people.
it's a really
Watching
cool thing
tonight.
to be able to broadcast guys playing a video game. No offense,
It's not a video
to
game.
Adam. And we get to interact with them. That's
It's a
pretty awesome.
simulation, just like Flight Simulator or whatever. You could really
Train simulator.
like. We have guys in another league we're in. He's in like the ARCA series, man. He comes out
Oh,
here
yeah,
and
he's
gets
a
some
real
laps
driver.
in. Real drivers use this as like a tool. Speaking of tools, all the Canadians, we only have one, right? Is there like a party at Elsinore Castle tonight? Why
I'm
aren't
not
we having any
sure.
more
That is
Canadians?
is the
Curious.
Brewmeister? What was his name?
Uh,
the old Max von Sydow, or what his name is?
Is Rosie throwing a hockey game at Elsinore Castle?
Yeah. Connor
Well,
Leach,
we
I
need-
think, is the only guy out here.
We need more
that hails
Canadians.
from Canada. Yeah.
Man, hopefully he gets our fun jokes.
What they do in
Most
some of
them
our
do.
other leagues? The
Yeah,
full Canadian. I think VRL on Wednesday
there's like
nights.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, there's at least 3.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get back.
That we are. And Larry Dickerson, don't say that too loud. You might have about 30 drivers and their teams running out to your door saying, hell, I'll buy it for this, I'll buy it for that. as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. 42 and the 1 getting all lined on up here. You can also see the 51 and the 19 Brandon Coleman up there as well. It's the green flag waves. About 21 laps to go, and here we go. Green flag racing here once again as that 42 gets a pretty good bump start there by that 51 machine of Klein. You can also see there Chris Brown just still hanging around, just ready to pounce on any mistake that these drivers do make. 66 Drew Blaze as well. He's coming back on up through this field after his incident that he got involved in. He's now tucked in behind that 88 of Tate Cawthorn. You also got Zeth Hawley, Skylar Herod, Lucas Lyons, and Nathan Stanley all competing here just outside or inside of this top 10 as we go 3 wide here for a brief second. Looks like things filtering themselves on out.
Yeah, great job. Great recovery by some of these guys. As you mentioned, the 66 there. Other guys as well. 00 Joe Bennett. Also a great recovery from some early race shenanigans there. It's all about how you recover. And some of these guys, they're very resilient race car drivers.
I thought you said it was a video game.
Looks like the 31 machine getting snagged up against the outside wall there. Oh, we got cars going around.
Oh, Lord.
Cotton and the 98 as well. Oh, no. More in behind him here.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Jordan, while trying to check up, just kind of got the backside a little bit loose, and people trying to rejoin the racetrack here. Let's go ahead and make a
Leach and Cotton got together, I think, to start that.
They went 3 wide. 98 to 77 and 67, I believe.
77 and the 73 also with some post-accident contact.
Oh man, yeah, it's tough to say because it looks like the 58 got up into the 67 of Cubby, and he had just got him super loose, and it sent him shooting on down the racetrack. I mean, really nothing the 77 could do. Other than not be there and be about 5 more feet ahead.
Yeah, I didn't see the contact with Stanley on the high line there. I missed that part of the accident there.
Was there contact? Let's go ahead and head on to our super virtual chase camera here. Gotta make sure I'm picking the right car.
Leach went flying like there was contact. Was that a netcode thing there?
It looks like there was some contact, a little side by side. But again, it was weird because the 98, I think he recognized that there was some contact coming, so he started turning to the left to avoid it, and that next thing you know, he's going around, and the 77 machine just, man, talk about being in a tough place at a tough time. And goodness, Max splitting the gap. Oh, the 005 of Evangelista, nowhere to go on that far bottom side. Just absolutely gets tagged up in it as well. So that's going to bring out the caution flag here once again.
AJ's got to be out of fast repairs after I've seen him getting a couple of pretty major accidents here.
Yeah, he's been
He's
beat
still in
up.
the lead lap, though, Adam. He's still
that's the cool thing about it tonight. We have quite a few that are still on the lead lap. Let's see. How many do we have on the lead lap?
34?
4? I mean, that's a lot of cars. So as much problems that we've seen, we still have a pretty good field of, with a chance,
Sure.
Oh man.
I want to thank everybody out there watching on the YouTube out there tonight. Got a lot of thumbs up on the video tonight. Thank y'all so much. And if you haven't already, if you like what you see tonight, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted whenever we go live. We're going to be doing some pop-up races here now and then, in addition to what we're already doing during the week.
We are? Pop up?
Some sources tell me that we may be doing some extra stuff.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Man, I really thought tonight was going to be bad after talking to you before pre-race. You really straightened it up.
Yeah.
You really got your act together quickly.
Straighten my act out. I'm not like Mr. Leahy all the time. Just
Okay, I thought you were right in a slot there. Maybe a little click over. Yeah, you're back in the game. Good job tonight there, English. You rack and restack them once again, Brown.
Yeah, once again, we're definitely starting to kind of get on down to it here, fellas. Only about 17 laps to go as that pace car dives on down into the pit lane, and here we go once again. Green flag racing here in California, side by side. They trundle on down that front straightaway, making their way down towards turns 1 and 2. 19. Brandon Coleman getting a pretty good run up there on that outside lane, but on these restarts, that bottom line is just a little too good. You can see the 51 of Chris Klein trying to jump on down there to it to stay with these guys up here. Up at the front. Oh, no!
Eights around.
Wow.
Dylan Bryant.
Oh, man, and he was one of the guys that early on in these runs thought was going to have a pretty good look at it. The 48 of Seth Hawley jumps on down into the grass.
Paul Durkee in the grass as well. Heavy damage.
And Matt Layton barely avoided the 13. 13 was doing pirouettes in front of him. That was pretty interesting to watch. California, I guess they're mad at us.
Oh, 13. His car reacted about 5 seconds after the initial contact of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't catch the whole thing.
Gotta see that on the replay because
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
I
watch
didn't catch
that
that either.
I did see him do some strange things in front of the 72. Ooh. Well, how many times have we seen Autoclub just go green the whole time, Tonight's not that night.
No, it's a huge field though.
That's true.
For having a field this big, it's been fairly clean, I would say.
Yeah, that it has. Well, only gonna have about 12 laps remaining, maybe even just a hair more than that. Probably 13 or so remaining as we get ready to head on back down there and get everybody all re-racked and stacked. We're gonna take another just a tiny quick break and say a big thank you to the rest of our fantastic sponsors we got out here. And when we return, got the final rush for who's going to pick up the race win here tonight. And we return to the action as the field starts to get all stacked up side by side, heading on down into the back stretch here out of turns 1 and 2. Quite a few disconnections here. Nick Biddy, Michael Eden, Larry Dickerson called it here early. Tom Barrett has been down there in the pits for quite a while. He's had a rough go of it. Tom Wilson, Robert Egerton, he had a problem. His screen went black, so he's just like, this ain't for me tonight. The 98 of Connor Leach and Paul Durkee, some of your latest victims here at this crazy wild ride that is known as Autoclub here in California. Getting ready to head on back to that green flag here in just a moment.
Still got lots of drivers here in contention, though, even with the disconnections. It's going to be a shootout here. We're going to restart here with, 13 laps to go?
Mm-hmm.
And 13 it is indeed, as the 1 and the 19 go side by side. The one's going to trickle up the track. Ooh, that door wasn't open by much, but he definitely made sure that foot got on him in there. And the DW choosing to go on up there. How about the 89, the silent assassin, Mike Adamson? We haven't talked about him once all night. Oh, it's there we go again.
22 around Kiger and Chris Brown. Heavy damage on the one.
Oh, 78 of Chris Jordan getting snagged up in incidentals again as well. Tristan Cotton going down through the grass. Looks like the 99 of Michael Iskander able to filter on through that relatively clean and free, but looks like the engine is smoking for that 51 machine. I got a feeling that's probably gonna be it here for Chris Klein.
For Chris Klein, yeah.
Time for a little drinky poo.
That's what I'm thinking. Time for a little top up.
I'll tell you what, California, let's go back in my love-hate relationship with California. California has created some great things, right? Like Merle Haggard.
Buck Owens.
Yes. Ronald Reagan. The
hot rod car culture.
I love that.
Yeah. American Graffiti. Come on now.
They've done some things. I just wish they didn't push everything down our throats. Like, they're trying to get rid of gas stoves, and they're trying to get rid of. If you make a certain amount of money, you got to pay more for your electricity, and then all this stuff. California, just come back to reality.
I was stationed there in the late 90s. It was a great area, Southern California.
Beautiful.
Between Southern California, what people call SoCal area, north of Santa Barbara, and was where I was at. And then you had wine country to the north, San Luis Obispo and all that. What a beautiful part of the state.
Yes.
Beautiful
Great.
Beaches, great place to live. It's just everything costs so much. And this was in the late 90s. It's much different now. It's
crazy now. Oh, they didn't. Now shoplifting is legal. You can do that. I mean,
well, the biggest thing we had to deal with back then was protesters at the gate. When you're trying to get back on base, and the protesters blocking the road with signs and stuff. That's the only thing we ever had to really deal with over there.
Yeah. Multiply it by 100 now.
Which we supported. We supported the protesters.
It's a free country.
Right to do
That's
that.
That's the First Amendment, right? You know what else happens right after the first? The second. And so on. So
Yeah. There are so many amendments. Sorry. The Chappelle Show.
Yeah, I don't know. We're
Memories
running out of
there.
California stuff to talk about, but
Fifth. Sorry.
got 10 laps. Looks like we'll be 10 laps to go when we crank it back up. Brown, how's your how you holding up there? I know you were
Yeah, man.
hospitalized and whatnot.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing all
How you
right.
feeling?
I'm glad they didn't pull the plug on you. I really am. I'm
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
Me too.
I mean, it's your right to choose, I think. in New Hampshire if you want the plug pulled, but you fought on and you were going to live, and we're glad that you're still here.
You're gonna start freaking people out now, English. You gotta be careful of that.
I know.
I don't think it was that serious.
This is my morbid sense of humor. Sorry.
It was funny, but yeah, no. I'm just saying, I'm glad he's back.
I mean, to be fair,
You gave us a scare there, but
you know the sound when you do, like, I know it's off topic, but not off topic. When you pull, like, a drain plug, you get the little, like when you're popping a cork or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When they pull tubes out of your nose, it sounds about the same.
Did they pull it out like they were trying to start a lawnmower? Like they're just
not quick,
yanked it.
not quick like that. More like Egyptian mummification standards of trying to get the brain out. That's what it felt like, of course.
Oh,
Well, I mean, when they pulled your catheter out, did they pull it?
No. I
I
will elect to get I will have a DNR before I get a catheter.
Yeah. Back to racing.
Back to racing, because we're gonna have under 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go here, as the one in the 89 machine get all revved on up here, up at the front, trying to guide this crazy field on and on down across the line, and now down into turns 1 and 2. The one machine again getting a great restart there. The 19 giving him a little bit of push. He's gonna bail on out here pretty early and try to get that run on the bottom side, take control of this. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, big one again. The X and the 48, the 38 involved in another one.
Oh man, they tried.
Joe David, Albert Anderson.
Oh, Albert's been involved in a couple of them now.
Yeah, he's having a rough
Where
one.
did that start?
38 with Logston.
38,
He
okay.
got down on the apron, and I don't know if he was pushed or when he came back up, he just got loose on his own.
Oh, but there was, I think someone in the back, it looked like around where the 48 was, kind of saw it coming. I'm trying to find the 48 of Seth Hawley in my list here so we can kind of jump up to the chopper to see from this point of view. Look, yeah, the X, I think he saw it coming and he started drifting up the racetrack, and he was catching into the 48, which caught the 32. In the meantime, just in front of them, the 6 gets really nowhere to go for the 6. The 38 just comes up in front of him, T-bones the 38 and sends the 38 flying. But that's what happened between the guys kind of happening behind it. So it's kind of 2 wrecks in one. It all happened there. Let's see what happened here with Albert Anderson getting snagged up in this.
Live cam of the 77 car? What's that?
Brittany Cotton, I don't know, she's asking for a shot from the 77 there. He's become such a fan favorite out there of the 77. I think eventually we're going to have to bring him up in the booth one of these times. Yeah, man, what a big wreck so late in the race here.
Well, it was like 3 in a row, though.
Okay, yep, no, it's there's some laundry service being ordered over there at the Cotton household. Yep.
Was there a little pucker factor in that?
I believe there might have been.
Ooh, I hear some screaming on the radio. What was that about?
Well, Ferdy, I ain't telling people get low. He's trying to get around and get his lap back, and
Ooh, Lord.
Up in the way there.
Kyle, I'm glad you're here with us, Kyle. He's with another league, but he's here with us tonight. Thank God. But yeah, it got a little crazy when you got on here. Sorry, we've jumped the shark, so to speak, here in California. Very fitting.
What are you talking about? Autoclub's like nowhere near any beach.
He's talking about like Happy Days, like when Fonzie
jumped the shark, you know?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's like a saying. You never heard of jump the shark?
That's when a sitcom.
Like when things are so absurd.
Yeah, it's time to stop. Yeah, it's when Fonzie, Arthur Fonzarelli jumped the shark. Happy Days.
It's a pop culture thing from the 70s and 80s. I don't know, has it
So
transitioned
before I was
into the
born, bro.
But I thought we still use jump the shark. Don't we still use it in English?
I do occasionally.
Yeah. You're going to have to use the Googler on that one, Brown.
I use it
so you
around old
understand.
people like us that know what that means.
Oh, that's true.
Well, I guess Paul Ferdiani's holler out to tell everybody to get the freak down was enough to get him disqualified. He has been disqualified from the race.
He's not going to be happy about that. I mean, he was just trying to tell everybody. Get out of his way.
He's coming around at 180 miles an hour trying to get his lap back. There's people getting in front of him. I'd be mad too, but
Well, when was the last time you drove 180 miles an hour and didn't swear?
True.
yeah. Hopefully, Paul will be back next week.
I'm sure he will. It's just this one's a rough night.
Yeah. Shu Gu out there tonight saying, super frustrating night for me. Wrecked early. Went from P30 to second, and then it came down to tires with 20 to go and got wrecked out at the end.
Yeah, that's Connor Leach.
Is that Connor Leach, our Canadian?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was him earlier.
He's probably headed over to Elsinore Castle right now.
Yeah. He'll be back next week for Atlanta. He's ready to go.
That one will definitely have some bump drafting with that new repave. That one's going to be interesting to watch with these Gen 6 cars as we go back to green flag racing up here at the front. The 19 of Coleman up 36 spots. Gets the jump down there on that bottom line. He's got a good pusher there in that 89 of Mike Adamson, and then following him is the 1 of DW. He's fighting side by side with the 60 of Jeremy Stanley. You got the 42 Kevin Winker trying to make his way back on up here as well. 66 of Drew Blaze. He's trying to fire it on up. Same thing with the man who's
Yellow's out. Justin Lawson.
Hmm.
I don't know who wrecked with him there. I saw the 17 going around.
Man, I was even getting into like my finishing like super fast talk mode.
I know.
Yeah. The tension was building, and then
Kind of fell off the map there. You were doing real well too. I was with you. I was just trying to let you have the stage.
I was on the edge of my chair. Yeah.
I looked down at my phone. I looked up, and there's a crash.
Shugu does not know where Elsinore Castle is.
Well,
At the top of that mountain, where it's right next to the brewery and the insane asylum. They're on the same mountain.
I don't know what province either, but
It's where they make Elsinore beer.
if you go back into the 1980s, early 80s, and watch the movie Strange Brew, you may be able to find where it is. That's what we're always referring
That's
to.
how I got into brewing. I watched Strange Brew and I said, "That's so awesome! I want to do that."
Oh,
Besides the hockey and the mind control.
So this one kind of all started. The 38 got onto the apron, got loose, started to save it. It snapped. He drifted up the track. Oh, and then it just snapped loose on him in the middle. Right when, at that moment, when you swear you just had it saved, and then it just snapped on him, and it snapped right up the track. Oh man, Joe David he keeps getting cars running right up into him here.
Yeah, that snap to the right. That just. Oh man, that just it sometimes happens there. I hate seeing that happen.
Oh, and Albert Anderson getting, if his night hasn't been going miserably there for America's driver.
The 38 has been involved in several accidents here tonight. He's having
Derek Welch is not having a. He's the owner of the league, and he's not real happy right now. I can
Why?
tell you that. I don't know. He's just.
we're getting some entertainment out here tonight.
I mean, it's entertaining.
If the
for
folks
us.
out there on YouTube, are you not entertained? I mean,
Well, they're probably interested to know where Elsinore Castle is.
no, but I understand DW's frustration out there with the cautions and stuff, but it goes with the program. You know, when you got a 45 car field, you know, and guys on different laps, different strategies, but it's still I think it's still been a great race to watch.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this race. I've seen much worse races. I think we've all seen worse races than this. And we've got to bang on California a little bit. That's always fun. I mean, who doesn't like banging on California?
And Andrew Cawthon says over on the YouTube chat, they're trying to kill Albert.
They are. Albert has had a rough night.
2 wrecks.
He's been. Well, he was.
They're trying to
Like, I think he's caused one wreck early, and now he's been involved in like 800 others. So,
man. Albert must have done something this week. I don't know if he looked the other way when somebody you know, kicked their dog or something, but
don't put that on the Marcus driver.
Albert's got some. He's had some bad
Got
luck.
some bad luck. That's all right.
Somehow tonight. Yeah.
He'll change his paint scheme and number, and he'll be fine.
Man,
Earl said he
seen it
forgot to
before.
turn off that car magnet tonight. Go ahead, there, Brian.
well, either way, guess what here, fellas? We got ourselves a green-white checker finish to finish this one off here tonight.
Beautiful.
So things are definitely getting spicy, as we're going to have Coleman, Adamson, Jeremy Stanley, Derek Welch, Kevin Winker, Drew Blaze, Patrick Mahaney, Vince Short, Tate Cawthorn, and Double O, Joe Bennett, all up inside of this top 10 with the lights on that pace car are off. So here we go, making that dive on down into pit lane with the green flag out and ready. It's time to buckle up, strap on those drinking helmets, and throw inhibition out the window. Green, white, checker, race and finish here at Autoclub. Side by side, they rev those engines on up, trying to get up to speed. Adamson up on that far outside lane, trying to get the run here on that 19 of Coleman, sending it on down into turns 1 and 2. Here comes that 60 of Jeremy Stanley there as well, trying to get a run on that bottom side, breaking it on down that back straightaway. One of DW still sticking on with it. 89 dives down to the bottom lane, taking that away from that 19 of Coleman. Same thing with the 1. Oh no, Coleman's got to be careful here, otherwise he might get freight trained with some pretty good action. 3 wide up here, the 42 of Kevin Winker coming in with some big oomph. He's got some speed. He's got a chrome horn. He's not afraid to use it. He's trying to work his way around that 60 of Jeremy Stanley, but the white flag comes out, so no more cautions. This will be it, the final lap. Adamson's trying to drive off and look away into that sunset as here comes Drew Blaze. Oh, we got someone up into the wall, ping-ponging his way around, trying to hang on to it. Oh man, that's going to cause a kerfuffle. Everybody shuffling on around behind him here as the 89 really with no pressure behind him now after that. Nobody's really drafting on up to him except for that 66 Drew Blaze. One final push out of turn number 4, back down across the line. It's going to be the silent assassin picking and choosing his way on through this race and picking up the race win as we get wrecking across the line.
Yeah, it was crazy at the end. A couple people finished backwards, so that was neat.
Yeah, Coleman, the 19, got up and scraped the wall a little bit, caused a little bit of a checkup up high. So he went from restarting on the front row to finishing in 13th place. Man, feel bad for him there.
Yeah. Man. Tell you who finished last was Alan English in the 34.
Yeah, I still got some points. Maybe I'm not sure.
You
Not
did
sure
get
how that
your
works. Broadcaster points.
starting park.
like Morgan Shepherd, just I got out there and registered, and
He was a good singer, you know.
that's T.G. Shepherd.
Oh, I get him confused.
Paul Ferdiani messaged everybody out there on the Discord channel saying he wanted to apologize for his outburst on the radio when he was trying to get his lap back.
It happens,
But,
man.
hey,
You give him a
man,
moment.
look,
Yeah.
I would have been pissed too if I'm trying to come around the track going that fast and
Yeah.
guys are up in my lane. But
It's kind of common knowledge. Stay low, let the outside.
sure, yeah, but you can't do that in this league. You can't just be dropping that
Why?
loud. I don't know. I'm not the boss of this league. Don't ask me.
I'm not either. I'm not the boss of anything, I guess. But I'm glad he's going to be back for Atlanta next week. That'll be fun. Atlanta is a cool track.
And yes, Tim, we like the POV camera, man. Great job setting that up today. We gotta see a little bit more of it maybe next race.
Yeah, it was cool. Innovative.
I'd like to go a lap, just watching him saw on that wheel. While we're seeing what's happening out on the track, that'd be cool.
You ain't kidding. Well, either way, we do have some of our podium finishers joining us up here already on the podium booth, so we can go ahead and start things off with tonight's third place finisher. That is going to be the K-Dub man himself, racing all the way from the back up towards the front. Your hard charger of the evening. Up 39 official positions based on the quote-unquote qualifying and yada 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 here, Kevin, but we know it was way more than that. Finishing in third in this rough and tumble race here at Autoclub, man. Congratulations. That was a hard fought third place finish tonight.
Hard.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to get up there, but I was kind of buying my time. A bunch of wrecks happened, and then kind of got off strategy there with a couple of the guys, and kind of worked out. I was hoping when we pitted there, me and Joe and Lucas, we pitted there at 20 to go. I was hoping it was going to go green because I think we would have had them guys, but we just kept getting cautions and couldn't really get, green flag laps or anything. That last lap, it was just a whatever, just a 8 wide go. So, and I kind of got boxed in there. But overall, it's another podium. It's 3 on the season through 3 races, so can't be too upset with that.
Well, Kevin, you're one of those guys that's got so much support out there in social media. Hashtag Winker Nation. Bruce Muehlberger with Muehlberger Custom Homes sponsoring you and Josh out there, and W on the back of that machine. That Camaro was quick, man. You guys got Atlanta coming up next week. We're in a little bit of a, the whole schedule got pushed back because of Memorial Day, but Atlanta is next week instead of this week. How are you guys preparing for that? And you looking forward to it?
Oh, well, I sadly won't be able to make it next week. I'll be on vacation. I leave Thursday. Yeah.
Gotta have vacation.
But I think that's going to be kind of a wreck fest just because it's narrow and passing is insane there. And so I'm kind of glad I'm missing it, but then I'm not at the same time. So I'll definitely be watching the broadcast, cheering on my guys, but I'm sure they're going to go over a game plan as always and try to get the best finish they can.
And get some family time in, man. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's always a good thing. Going to Mackinac Island for 5 days. So.
Oh, that sounds awesome, man. Well, check this out. You at the beginning of this race, you look like you were on rails and you stole the machine because you were just going from the back to the front. You got up front. You kind of had some stuff happen. Really had a fast car tonight, but it was really fun to watch you. Congrats on a podium finish. You hung in there. It was a slugfest here in the second half of this race. Who would you like to give some thanks to?
Yeah, I know that first half, Bryant was pretty quick. There's a couple other guys that were up there all night, and then they got taken out one by one, which kind of sucks for that. But, yeah, I mean, overall, it's a great night. So, and then I want to give a shout out to, obviously, my sponsor, Bruce Muehlberger Custom Homes Crown Board sponsor, me and Josh. I know Josh had a little bit of adversity come tonight, but he came back, I think, for top 15. He was 3 laps down at one point, so shout out to him as well. shout out to all Winker Nation, Shauna, Brandon, Justin, Nicole, Brett, everybody else that is there to support me. I can't thank you guys enough. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Nate Cogdale at Sonic Graphic Design for the killer paint. Derek for putting the week on. I know tonight was kind of hectic with all the black flags and cautions. So props to him for putting this on and running it smoothly. And then last, as always, you guys for putting the broadcast. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And great job running out there, having a solid run indeed. And we look forward to catching you in action here at the next race that we see you in there, buddy.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
And with that, we move on up to tonight's second place finisher. And that is going to be the man who gets us all fired up, Mr. Drew Blaze. Please tell us if these puns are absolutely atrocious and we need to stop. But man, you had a great run out there in that 66 machine here tonight. You did have to fight through a little bit of adversity there in about the midway point in the race, but you did it in fantastic style and fought your way on up to that podium second place finish here tonight.
Yeah, it was felt like a dogfight all night long. It was just, getting a run on the outside, trying to get by guys on the inside, and just trying to choose your lane. And yeah, it was rough out there, but I managed to stay clean during those last laps and get her home to the finish.
Good job out there tonight. The Rockstar Energy Camaro was fast all night. Atlanta is on the schedule for next week. Are you looking forward to that one? The new repave, a lot of guys are saying, man, it's so narrow, and there's really only one line around there, and it's going to be kind of crowded. How do you like the new repave, the new reconfiguration of Atlanta?
I haven't done it in these cars, but every other car I've been in, it's been a blast. I mean, it's basically a true super speedway. Yeah. But it's cut down to like a mile and a half, that classic Atlanta mile and a half. But I mean, I would have preferred to keep the old configuration. I love the old Atlanta, but we're just gonna do what we do with every race and just send it in there. If it works out, we'll be okay and be happy. If not, just gonna come away with whatever we get.
Well, good job tonight. You sent it in there, survived all the mayhem. Got you a second place finish, which is awesome here in California. Well, who would you like to give some shout outs to?
Yeah, I just got to give a shout out to Lone Star Racing, Garza Law Firm, the Densons, Mike Fahey, Justin Johnson, Tristan Sykes, everybody on my team. I have a great group of guys around me, and everybody who supports me day in and day out. And thank you guys for on a fantastic broadcast, and DW and these guys for putting on the league.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the fantastic podium second place finish here tonight for Mr. Drew Blaze. Having a good one, man. Congratulations and good luck in the next one next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
And with that,
He's got in the draft podcast on his thing. I got to check that out.
yeah, I guess we will definitely have to do that. But before we do it, we have to talk to one more driver, and it's the guy that has a nickname that is so fitting. It's the Silent Assassin, Mr. Mike Adamson, driving that 89 machine up through this field and picking up the race win. Mike, congratulations first off on that win, but man, you really did it quietly. We really didn't see or say your name for 3/4 of that race, but right when it mattered here in go time, man, you were all over that front.
Absolutely, yeah, that was definitely a hard fought win. Man, wow. I don't know what else to say. Just
He's having some.
Yeah,
it's keying up in both DW.
Oh, there you go.
Audio feedback there. Yeah, congrats on the win there, Mike. Yeah, there was you couldn't call it a broadcaster curse tonight, but we definitely didn't talk about you much out there tonight. But you snuck in there and took this win, and congratulations on staying alive out there. How about these cautions tonight? There was quite a few of them out there here at Autoclub.
Yeah, I just had to stay out of trouble, dodge a few things. I used a fast sprayer at the end, but just pit strategy was what got me up here.
Well, champion of California. That's pretty sweet. I mean, you destroyed California. That was awesome. Who would you like to thank?
First and foremost, I always thank my wife. I love her to death. She's the reason why she allows me to do this. Everybody at All Star Racing, Albert, Dylan, Larry. Thank those guys for giving me an opportunity to sit in the seat and make it happen. And thank you guys, as always, broadcast top notch, and everybody here, Derek at Numb Thumbs, for putting on the event.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations to that 89 machine of Mr. Mike Adamson. Man, congratulations big time on the big win here at Autoclub, and good luck coming up on the future races here this week.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Florida man takes it.
Florida man takes it indeed. And boy, oh boy. That was definitely not the typical Autoclub that we have known and grown to love, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, we knew it was going to eventually be an exciting finish, and it definitely didn't disappoint. You know, Mike just hung with it out there, and right place, right time. Took care of his car, and yeah, just a great job out there tonight for Mike and Drew and Kevin. And I mean, look at your top 10. You see some guys in this top 10 that you don't normally see up here. And Joe Bennett, we thought he was going to be done tonight. Him and Mahaney in the 76 had terrible wrecks and able to work their way back up. So great resiliency by these guys. They're going to make some points tonight for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I had fun. How about that?
100%.
100% as we take a look here at our final race rundown, where let's tell all these folks that stuck around here with us where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. And that starts us off with that 89 of Mike Adamson picking up the race win here tonight. Drew Blaze having a solid run as well in that 66 machine to finish there in second, with the 42 of Kevin Winker, your hard charger of the evening, up 39 official spots. He rounds out your podium. You got the 60 of Jeremy Stanley having a pretty solid run here later on in this run as well, finishing there in fourth. How about that 18 of Joshua Moore? He was no slouch up there, making up 36 spots on his own there to round out that top five. 76, Patrick Mahaney having a solid run as well, finishing here tonight in sixth. Seventh will go to the OG Florida man, 00 Joe Bennett, up 32 spots, so another solid run there for 00. In seventh, the 136 of Chris Brown. He finds himself there in eighth. Another Chris Klein, he got caught up in quite a few things here tonight, but he finds himself up in the top 10 in ninth. With the one of Mr. Bogus Man, it looked like his luck was definitely affecting him here tonight with an early takeout, but he fought back and he was able to round out tonight's top 10.
Vincent Short in the 15 car shows a lot of resiliency out there. He worked his way up from 25th to finish in 11th place here tonight. 12th place will go to Lucas Lyons in the 25. 19 of Brandon Coleman. Great position on that restart, and just couldn't make it happen right there at the end. He'll finish in 13th place. 14th will go to Zeth Hawley in the 48. The 99 of Mike Iskander will finish in 15th place. Worked his way up a bunch of spots. It looked like about 17 spots from 32nd. And 16th place will go to Mark Collins. Mac will finish there in the 23. He's still on the lead lap as well. Let's see here. Chris Jordan in the 78, up from the back to finish in 17th. Dylan Bryant went the other way, started up towards the front. Was a contender to win this thing and wrecked out there, and he'll finish in 18th place. 19th will go to PJ Cox in the 05. PJ, heck of a race out there tonight. Top 5 a lot of the night, and he'll finish here in 19th place. Chuck Kiger in the 22. Up 10 spots to finish in 20th.
88, Tate Cawthorn, 21st. Josh Kelleher's in the 73, 22nd. Tristan Cotton, 77, he ended up 23rd. Number 3 is Skylar Herod. He ended up 24th. 323. America's driver, Albert Anderson, 25th. Matt Layton, 72. 26, Justin Johnson. The Roman numeral 10.
Yes.
27. Dustin Logson, 28th. Justin Lawson, 29th. Scott
Dustin
Milner.
Logston and Justin Lawson.
Logston and Lawson. It's
I'm
quite a
sorry.
conundrum there. Scott Milner, 30, ended up there in 30th.
Yeah, 31st will go to the 5 of Anthony Williams in the 5 there. 92 Stubbs. Tim Stubblefield. His new helmet cam out there tonight. He finishes in 32nd place, 9 laps down. 10 laps down here by himself. Joe David in the 6. He'll finish 33rd. 34th will go to Mike Corvo in the 7. 67 of Cubby. Nate Stanley finishes in 35th. 36 will go to S.E. Martin in the 91. The 13, Paul Durkee. Old man Paul finishes 37th after starting up outside row 4 in 8th. AJ Evangelista involved in a couple accidents out there tonight. He'll finish in 38th. 39th will go to Connor Leach, our resident Canadian here in the Super Speedway League in the 98 car. And rounding out your top 40, the 20, Robert Edgerton.
21, Tom Wilson. 41st, Double Nickel, Tom Bears. 42nd, Larry Dickerson, Internet Connections. 43rd, Nick Biddy, Internet Connections. 44th, Michael Eden. 45th, Paul Ferdiani, the Gambler. He got a penalty there. He'll end up in last place. And right there in 34th, or the number 34, number 1 in our hearts and last place.
Get
Alan
out of
English.
here with that.
There we go.
It's number 1 in our bellies with some good brews.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what you.
Well, I'll take that.
That's what you should say there, Turner. But nonetheless, that rounds out your field here from Auto Club. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having such a good time here with us as always. So definitely be sure, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, if you do like any of the videos or anything like that, be sure to hit that thumbs up, because that just helps us out even more. Of course, we also have to say big thank you to the great race sponsors like Holler Boys Racing, hosting this Auto Club 180 here this evening. And boy, oh boy, was it a 180 and a half. Did these drivers have a rough go of it here tonight? But thank you, Holler Boys Racing, for jumping on board here once again. Of course, we also have to say a big thank you to Martin Sports, Davidson Builders, DEP Graphics, Sim Gear Central, and Track Bar Media, your long-standing sponsors and partners here of the NTRL, whether it's in this league or all part of their whole showing of all 4 or 5 or however many they got going on. They've been all here since the beginning, essentially. So thank you all for showing on up for that. Well, with that, we head on into some Monday racing action here with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Cup Series, the Next Gen Cup Series, which is going to, as soon as I find their thingamabobber,
Somewhere.
they are going somewhere. They are headed to the new Atlanta. So we're getting a little sneak preview for that one. 120 laps at that new Atlanta repave, so that one should be a fun one indeed to watch. So here we go indeed. But until tomorrow night, man, this has been a blast. But we're just gonna have to see you later. For Alan English and Adam Turner, I'm Alan Brown. See y'all tomorrow.
We gone.
See ya.